Okay.
Put like
Recount.
2000s YouTube music.
Awesome. I'm just gonna add lib an intro. Over to not the Metallica report. This is not the Metallica report. We're not Metallica. Today we have our esteemed guest, Owen Ari Campbell, the guitarist and vocalist of Symphony and Luci Primordal. Welcome, Ari.
Hello.
So for our first question, how exactly did we come up with the concept of S&LP?
I from what I remember, I'm pretty sure that we just went straight into like. Remember that we were talking on like through YouTube comment sections through Metallica covers that we made, and then we like kind of reconvened over through Discord, and then sort of I don't know, it kind of just like came up that we wanted to make a cover album, and then we got to work. It wasn't really like planning, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. What would you say is your favorite part of working with S&LP?
With okay, like I think my favorite part is doing vocals because I've never done vocals in a professional style, like they're professional, the way that I do them now. So I really like getting feedback and also listening back on what I've recorded and realizing like, oh, this could be a lot better. And like just listening to anything that we've made period makes me really happy because I mean it's us. It's not like slop, at least in my opinion. What is yours?
My favorite part was really just getting all the guest musicians involved as well. So, all the guests, they did their part. I feel like they really, took a lot of load off our shoulders. A lot of the whole kitchen sink, the whole kitchen
Yeah.
sink off our fucking shoulders. But yeah, I really do want to just give a quick shout out to Nine Rhymer, James Gustafson, Ulrich Gustafson, and Kayden Oakwood are wonderful collaborators on S&LP. Look forward to hearing those guys soon. On that topic, how would you say your experience with working, with these collaborators and how that sort of influenced you throughout this creative process?
Working with you and Kayden has been like really, I don't know, like it opens my mind to realize that there are other people out here who love the same things as that I do and want to do stuff with me. And it's been an absolute like pleasure being able to like just message you on a whim and be like, "Hey, I need this done," and then it gets done within like 24 48 hours. When previously I've had no help whatsoever on any sort of project or creation that I've had. And like your willingness to like reconvene or like compromise is very, it makes me feel like heard in the, because I don't know, I don't really feel like I've had any sort of support with any of other of my projects, but I have you and Kayden just constantly like, what can we get done, what can we work on. So it's been an
Yeah,
absolute joy.
I definitely agree. Oakwood is always a type of person that's like, hey, if there's some that we need to get done, we'll definitely get it done. But switching topics, what would you say, your favorite part about composing was, the whole symphonic
Oh
part of, Symphony Luci Primordial.
yeah, I think my favorite part. Wait, is my microphone delayed?
I'm dying.
Is my microphone delayed or something?
I don't think so. I can't hear it anyways.
Okay, sorry. Back to the question. My favorite part of composing was very much taking what I have envisioned, like in my thick 5 foot deep skull, and like putting it into a software and like being able to immediately just like take that and put it against our guitars and our drums and our bass, and it just like creates this like amalgamation of sound. And 98% of the time, it works pretty well. And then the other 2%, it's like, okay, we just need to reconvene, or like we need to redo something. So I think my favorite part would be getting your opinion on stuff, and also making sure that our like both of our expectations are met.
I really agree with that. I would say that personally, I really enjoyed, composing because I really get to, sort of bring, my skills as, a more, experienced quote musician. Because, I really feel like composing is one of my, sort of hidden talents. I don't do it very
I
often,
agree.
but, I'm more than happy to, contribute that, when needed.
I think the thing with your symphonies is that they sound so much more like pure and full than mine do. So on the album, a lot of people, I mean, I hopefully everyone will hear it and they're not deaf, but people will hear like Luci's symphony and then they'll hear my symphony on another song and they'll very easily be able to tell which one is which. And I maybe that's a lack of material or experience on my part, but I definitely feel like the blend of taste builds like this is a rough project.
Definitely agree with that. This is very much, a big fan project end of day. I definitely do agree with what you said, blending of tastes, I prefer, the more, SNL the more SNM1 style. You prefer, the
Yeah,
whole
S and
SNL2
M two
style,
and
which I think is really
Benzo
awesome
and
because, we get to sort of bounce off each other's ideas that way. So I can say,
yeah,
oh, if I'm doing it, the second style, then I could do so and so. And hey, artists doing this is kind of like what I do. I can kind of like recognize that within each other.
okay. I really like that we have different influences but come to the same consensus on what sounds like right.
Yeah, you could say that.
As well as Kayden, who also has I think he's composed two or three, right?
I believe so. Kaden did Compose to Lightning, I believe, and something else. I don't remember what the second one is, but I do remember, Compose to Lightning was, me and him collab.
Yeah, because he did percussion on that one. I do remember that.
Yeah. It was kind of his idea to sort of like sort of riff on the Apocalyphilia version of Ride and sort of
Oh yeah,
like make it our own. So that's kind of what Kaden contributes as well. He's kind of like, hey, you know, hey Lulu, you can do, this little thing, or you can do that thing, and it can sort of be like, your way of doing it. I really
yeah,
appreciate him when he comes to me and does that, as well as when he comes in, you know, on the SNL group chat and he's like, "Hey guys, um, would you guys like so and so? Would you guys need me to do so and so? Is there
yeah.
anything I can contribute that you guys would like?"
He's very social, and I really appreciate his willingness to like hear me out on certain things and like connect on me more than on just a musician level. I mean, you too. You very much have like I feel like we very much have a connection more than just work related, you know. And I appreciate that it's more it's more polite than it is wanting to get something right.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Um, I have a few more questions if that's cool.
Absolutely, yeah. I have all the time in the world. Trust me.
All right, so where did you feel like you really got into the swing of like, I'm really getting like into it, like the feeling of really just like progressing, progressing, feeling good about it?
I gotta say it was probably late March that I really like looked at S&LP and was like, we're so far from the finish line, but I'm gonna enjoy this so much more. And there are many times that like I thought that I was doing like this was the epitome of what I could do, and then I listened back 2 months down the line, and I'm like, this is I can do so much better now. I hop in my closet, I record better vocals, I turn on my amp, it just all pieces itself together in a way that it just makes it easy to see it and be like, okay, yeah, I love this. And I mean, your help with that too, with your backing vocals on a lot of the songs. I mean, obviously your bass playing. It just all listening to it and hearing it sit so well in a sound that's not studio and like is collaborative between two people so far across a country is just, I don't know, it's like moving.
Hey, that's a really beautiful. That's a really beautiful way to put it. It's moving. I really do agree with that. It's wonderful that it's like two guys who know each other. And they're like coming together and like, hey, I know this guy. This guy that I've been supporting for a while. I would like you to come, sort of chill with us. And next thing you know, Caden's here. And then oh, Nine is here. Then oh shit, Grandpa's here. Then it's just like everyone kind of just comes on. It's all us local folks coming together and trying to, just coming to chill with you, coming to help you out. And I really
I
like
feel
that because, it's the whole community aspect of it. It's
100%.
basically, when, Grandpa Hetfield's like, you're the Metallica family. This is the Metallica family. This is what I really feel like this is,
Yeah,
sort of what he's
me
talking
too.
about. The whole, feeling of being together, of helping each other out. That's what the Metallica family is to me, at least.
I completely agree. Yeah. It's so like I'm absolutely honored to be included in your friend group, in the people that you enjoy being around. Meeting, I mean, maybe indirectly, but meeting people and being able to share this passion of music and creation with them as if I've known them forever and just be viewed as something more than a little country kid who lives in the South and be taken up as a musician for once.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm kind of just, existing in my bubble. Mm, interesting. Sorry, I was reading, what Kane was saying. He always got something to say in life, but, I'm just like, yeah, it's because, I'm kind of like in my little bubble in life. So,
Mhm.
I don't really do like music full time. I'm kind of just
Mhm.
like, I do it like as a hobby, and then it's kind of like snowballed into, hey, I could probably do, LuciCD, sort of as this like this big project, and then that sort of snowballed into, what we have today with S&LP, which I feel is like really like this next step in myself as a musician as well as you, because when you started out, it was just like you and then a bunch of fags that you fucking got together.
Yeah,
That's kind of what happened again. But, it's really different this time because, it's a collaborative effort that's not just, me sort of like hunching over somebody's, work that they're already like 80% done with. It's like we're all starting from scratch. We're all, we have this basis that we're building off on, and we're sort of able to come together and make it all sort of like work together.
absolutely. One of my favorite feelings is getting on my phone, opening BandLab, and hitting that little plus in the center at the bottom of the screen, and starting a new project and being able to import your guys' files and just start recording. And it's something more than just the ability to create. It's the fact that I get to create with you guys, and it's like, ah, it works so consistently.
Yeah, I really agree with that. We kind of just, my favorite part is when I just get to, get my little girdle on and I'm all like, okay, it's time to get stuff done. And then I really just like get into the mode. I play like the best. I feel like I play the best for you and for Kayden because, it's like this is the big project, this is the stuff that's gonna be, really out there on the web and stuff. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
I really wanted to get it right. And that's kind of like why I keep kind of like going back and seeing like, oh, he's doing so and so. Jason would be doing this, Cliff would be doing that, Rob would be doing this, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of like accumulating all of that into sort of my own sort of hodgepodge on, how X song would be played, how Y song would be played, or sort of like how I play it personally with, what was formerly AP.
Yeah. I definitely feel like the one thing that is making this album a little bit less than what I wish it would be is my guitar tone. And the only thing that we could really do with that is figure out how to get a certified mixing engineer in, but there's not like it's not bad, you know? Like and I I am thankful that you view what I create as something that you enjoy. I mean that we create, you know what I mean. Sorry. Um but that we create as like a team and then you can look back on it and realize like what you could do better, even though I think it's fine, perfect, even. And like I don't know. There's a lot that goes into it and I just feel like you definitely help me. I got nothing. I'm out of words.
It's all right. I really do feel like, we kind of like always sort of bounce off each other, the three of us, which is LPK. As LPK, I really feel like, that's where we really shine the most because it's, the whole collaborative feeling of it all. You're getting feedback from, Owen, you're getting feedback from me, you're getting feedback from Kayden. It's bouncing off each other's ideas. Kayden will come to me and be like, hey, you could probably see if, our Owen would do so and so. You could probably be like, hey, would you like to do, your own sort of spin on this instead of just like playing, the way it is on tape or playing the way
Yeah.
Lars plays it live? And he's like, oh, that's so cool. I always wanted to like sort of, do so and so in my style. And then when it comes out and it's like, we're all kind of doing our own sort of versions of it. And then it's like everything sort of like comes together and you put it all together so well. I feel I just feel like, you really just kind of understand like the whole artistic thingy that we're trying to really get at right now. I don't really
I
know what the
I
fuck I just said, but
no, I
you're
got it.
trying
Don't
to
worry.
like sound smart.
No, it completely makes sense. I am I really like that we bring our own, like it's not just hit record, play what's on the album, finish. We definitely bring a different sense of here's what here's what we wish it would have sounded like, or here's what we would do, as well as the influences of the old or new bassists of Metallica, for example, or like I'm very much inspired by Dave Mustaine and James Hetfield's style of rhythm guitar, but I'm also very into blues and pentatonic licks and jazz. So when I play a solo, I try to make it more Kirky, make it more of Justice era Kirk than like I want to hear Justice era Kirk on the new Metallica records or even the old Metallica records because I view Justice Kirk as pinnacle Kirk, if that makes sense. And I know that you definitely like to put Jason in your bass playing, your backing vocals. I feel like there's a lot that goes into how we do things, and it's much deeper than just, oh, yeah, that's what I heard on the album.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Jason to me is kind of like the all around sort of like bases in my opinion. So I kind of like sort of blend what Jason does, the pick master, and I'm kind of like going off. I'm more of like a guy who listens to Met live more than going straight to tape. So when I go and listen to like, oh, Jason's playing so and so, or oh, he didn't know that we could do this, or
Yeah,
Rob's doing so and so, I could do so and so too, as the sort of like the new steady style, and then I can kind of like riff on what everybody's sort of doing, or could kind of like go back to tape and see Cliff would play so and so in the studio but not live, or kind of like the vice versa. I can kind of like look at that and sort of like riff off, sort of like what's going on. I kind of feel like I really did that and stuff like Athesa as well. I want to say Bells mostly. The whole Bells intro. I feel like that was
oh
kind
yeah,
of like my sort of take on how it plays because everybody kind of has their own way of playing it. But
100%. I
I wanna
really
know what you
sorry.
feel is kind of like you're kind of like what am I trying to say never mind, I lost it. I lost it.
Sorry, I lost most of all of that's in there right now.
Yeah, it's fair. um I'll ask you some more about collaboration stuff. How do you really feel about SNLP as a collaborative effort between LPK, but also you got Alex, you got Will, you got you know Grandpa, Grandpa G going on as well. How do you really feel like all of these folks sort of come together to kind of just like how does that impact how you feel about SNLP's production or just about the whole project as a whole?
I feel like there's so much grace given to me that it's hard for me to pinpoint like how I would like if I'm interpreting your question correctly, like how I feel about it, because like for example, Will has done amazing work on all the songs that he's been on. Grandpa has been too. Niner especially has helped in like being able to listen back and realize like these are more than just people that I'm working with. It's people who are also like rewriting how they view music or like I mean I view SNLP as a very massive fan project. Like if someone were to roll upon SNLP that was like big, maybe it would get big. But I don't view them as part of a project. I view them as like friends in a way that's like the project is made up of people, but it's the people in the project that make up the whole like encompassing like friend group, if you want to call it that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely agree with that. With somebody like Alex as well, Alex is definitely like the guy I go to for Met stuff. I will always be like, hey, you want to come like want to learn how to play so and so on guitar? You want to know how I play so and so? And he's always like, hey, you want me to play something else on SNLP? And it's like, nah, we're good, we're good. And it's like I appreciate the enthusiasm. It's always like, he's the guy that wants to help out the most as well as Kayden. It's always nice having somebody like Kayden who's like really like the main collaborative person alongside I feel like myself. Kane's really like there as like designated drum guy. You go to
Yeah,
him and you're like, hey, we have so and so, and we would really love for you to do so and so, or hey, you have a really cool way of doing this. Want me to see if Owen would be cool if you did this, or so and so, and stuff like that. And I really like that Kane's also coming out of his, sort of woodwork as well, finding time for us because he works
Yeah,
like a lot, hard worker, long worker. But overall, it's really good to have somebody like those two as well. But I also want to like do a quick little highlight for James G. James is really like a really great friend of mine. I've known him since I was sort of younger, since I was chilling with Will and Will's sister. Grandpa's really cool. He sort of stepped up to do guitars in AP Metallica, and then I sort of view him as sort of a father figure to me. It's really cool that we get to have somebody like him work with us as well, because I feel like Grandpa's like really, he's really the guy that understands it the most. The whole
I
metal
completely agree.
music thing.
I mean, he's basically James Hetfield if James Hetfield wasn't himself. And
Yeah,
I
he's
completely agree with
James.
that.
Well, he's just James.
Yeah. And I completely agree with that. Like with Kayden and stuff, he definitely strives to be much bigger than like he definitely strives to fill out the project more than anyone ever asks him to. And honestly, I think I view him as I don't think I know that I view him just as strongly as a member of S&LP as I do myself or you, because he makes it known that he wants to help and he makes it known that he is there, even though we've had like differences and even though we work so much, he's always been like an extravagant just here's the drum file, here's what I'm thinking. I really need this. I I really need Kayden to be on the project more than just on drums because of how much he brings to the table to fill out like that third like missing spot that we need.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Kate kind of completes, the whole project to me, in my opinion, because definitely would have been just like a
100%.
whole like drag because we're relying on basically just you or like myself for drums, and that would just be like a whole slog with like a really experienced drummer, somebody like Kaden who's really just like flexible. He's just like, ooh, I want to go on the set, and I just want to go on the set, and I'm gonna just bang out like fucking the entire fucking track list, and it's just like, dude, oh my god, you're literally
You
perfect
need to
for
calm
this.
down.
It's like
Yes.
having him on here. It's really great for me because I feel like I'm actually getting closer to him when I really haven't been able to in personal life. I also really appreciate, that we all get to spend time together with each other as well.
I really miss being free enough to like have actual conversations. And I know that we've talked about it and I know that I've made posts on my channel about it that like I've been very uptight, very stressed, very like emotionally or physically distraught and it gets in the way of SNLP sometimes, but I would never let it get in the way of the people that I love the most. And I definitely owe an apology, and I definitely owe an apology to you and Kayden for not making more of an effort to be more of a friend or a friend figure than just waking up or getting home from school and being like, okay, I'm going to work now.
Pardon me. You don't need to apologize for
That's
shit,
okay.
man. I don't give a fuck. You don't need to apologize for shit. I'll just tell you that straight up. You don't need to apologize for shit. You've been a great friend. You've been a great coworker. You've been just a great all around dude to support, to get to know. I really feel like you're just the guy. I can just look at you and I can go, yeah, that's the fucking nigga right there. That's my nigga.
I I really appreciate that, and I am so self like caught up in myself sometimes that I don't realize that I'm not acting how I probably should be. So I mean, even though you say I don't need to apologize, there are definitely times where I have said or done things against my personal boundaries or against stuff that we've established would not be okay. I mean, I try to, forgive myself for that, and obviously, I don't beat myself up too hard for it, but I view our project and our friend and our companionship as like purely like I want it to last more than just the 6 months that we've been working on this as the time of this recording.
I definitely agree. I'm more than happy to just, sort of chill with you, chill with Kayden more, chill as, LPK as well. Just, the whole group is sort of, this whole super, I feel like we're really a super group more than anything. I really feel like it's just,
Sorry,
what's so funny, nigga?
I'm not
Anyhow.
laughing. I'm just coughing on my water. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but anyways, we're really like I feel like we're a super group in the sense that, kind of all just get together well. I really just,
100%.
appreciate you for, going through you're going through, your mental health stuff like while you're sort of like doing everything for us, and it's really like super cool as you're like super like, oh, I want to do this stuff, but I'm also like going through this stuff. You're able to recognize that as well. I really appreciate that. You're not really, going out your way to prioritize us over your mental health, and I really appreciate that as well.
I really appreciate you recognizing that because I feel like a lot in my life, personal life, of course, I mean, sometimes work life too, it doesn't really go noticed that I try to balance. And of course, I don't do it for the attention. I hope that's not what I come off as. But I definitely prioritize S&LP more than a lot of things, and I'm very self-conscious about how my image will be affected if I, for example, don't record a certain day or have to take an exam and can't be as work as heavy of a work ethic as I wish I would be. But I definitely also prioritize putting my life first and making sure that I am healthy. And I also communicate as much as I can, and good or bad, like what is going on in my life. Um, and I really appreciate you and Kayden listening to that because I don't really have much of, um, I wouldn't say a support system. I very much have a support system. I don't have much of a person or group of people to understand or compare viewpoints with.
I definitely agree with you, and I'm really glad that you can sort of like confide in us as well as sort of like friends, mentors, whatever we are to you. I'm just really glad that
All of the above.
we get to provide an outlet for you to sort of like express yourself, express what you want to say, do what you want to do. This is a group project overall. It started as just us two, and then it started as three. There's like six now. It's like
Yeah.
six of us now, and we're
I
all
mean, if
sort
you
of like
count the
here for
crowds,
you.
it's probably if you count the
I
crowds,
mean, you
if
cut
you
the
count
count.
the
It's like
crowds, yeah,
like 12 people, I think, that we got to just go out and chant for us.
yeah, that's probably one of my favorite parts so far. Even if it's like just one little bit of a song, you know, or two songs, I guess.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely love having the collaborators as well, because it really just makes it feel so special. It's like a celebration of everything that sort of brought me here, as well as celebrating themselves as well. About basically Matt in general. I feel like it's a big celebration of Matt in general.
I I feel like this is a very big celebration for Matt. I also feel like it's a big celebration for the ability to like I feel like a lot in modern day, and I stay off of social media for this. I feel like a lot of the time, most people take a lot of things too seriously or personally. And I feel like this collaborative effort shows, at least in myself, that regardless of staying away from most people, not being antisocial, because I'm very much an extrovert, but being as away from people and as away from dissenting opinions and personal drama, like I can still look at something or a group of people and be like, those are some of my best friends, and I don't even know them in person, and I would trust them with my life.
I'm really glad that you get to feel that way about us. That really means a lot. But oh, that's I'll be right back. I gotta take care of this quick little. Gotta reply to some real quick, and then I will be right back, and we'll keep interviewing. That's cool.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes.
Lulu, Lulu. Hey, I know you interviewing. I know you're interviewing. Hey, send this clip. Send this clip, y'all. Send this clip, bro. Hey, it's me, Big Oak. Big Oak. Hey, it's me, Big Oak. Thank you for supporting S&LP. I'm playing drums on like 80% of the day. Check out my drumming chat. Okay, bye. I love you. We're so back.
We are so back.
I've just received word that Kayden Oakwood has left us a message.
Kayden Oakwood has left us a message.
Yes, he has. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, he has. I would. Is everything okay?
Man, I
Mom
can't make
Susan.
out shit this man said. Oh, this motherfucking fucking uses voice changer. I'm about to kill this man. Oh, I'm gonna ask him to re-record his shit. Oh, 1 second.
I gotcha.
Hey, it's your boy, Kayden Oakwood. Oak Drums. Don't forget to follow Oak Drums on Instagram. That's Oak underscore DRVMS on Insta. We're only on Insta. You know, really overjoyed to be part of this. And, being here with Luci, with, Owen, it's really a fucking grand experience being able to just hop on the kit and really just play, good stuff. Stuff that, everybody's sort of likes. And I'm really hopeful that you guys like my drumming, even though it kind of like stinks or whatever. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
What I'm currently doing is I'm pulling up Insta so you can probably just get the tab shared here so you can hear it. Probably ease of convenience. Ooh, I'm lagging. Ooh, ooh, really bad lag. My bad. Okay,
All right.
so if I do this, then I do that. We're troubleshooting. That's what troubleshooting is. Yay.
It's all good.
I think I figured it out. Okay, so let me go here to Google Meet, and then I will present
Oh yeah.
here. I think.
Oak underscore ERVMS.
I definitely enjoy listening
I
to these
really
drums.
hope you got
I
that,
definitely enjoy
because I'm
working
gonna
with them,
kill
and
myself if it didn't play.
I did, yes. No, I did play. Don't worry.
Yay!
I wonder if my computer's lagging now.
Nah, it's just on my end. I don't have audio on because I'm just relying on captions. My screen recorder doesn't allow like live tab audio.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's right.
Oh, well, I have a question for you.
For me,
For you.
well, nobody ever asked me shit.
What is the hardest song that you think we've recorded so far?
Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, let me think. So we just got like a really stacked track list. I'm just trying to remember it.
We do because we have so many songs.
Yes, we do. Let me see.
Let me
It's a lot.
grab in my guitar.
Uh, Not necessarily the hardest, but the one I paid the most, time on. To me, was kind of Cthulhu abridged, because I've always kind of like I've kind of been sort of passionate about you know getting it down right. It's really a song that
100%.
I sort of like feel like I've had troubles getting down right, and I'm just really happy that it's really like the way it should be. But to me, the hardest songs were kind of I had to learn Freeden's and Dry Eve as well. But I feel like
100%.
overall hardest song is probably I just fucking decided I would do mechanics bass with fingers, which is
Oh yeah.
like why would I do that? But I got it done and it hurt. It hurt.
And it
My fingertips
sounds
were out of commission
fucking
for like
awesome.
2 days.
Oh my god.
It's metal, bro.
It's
Metal as
terrible.
hell.
I definitely think that the hardest one I've recorded so far is either Dyer's or All Nightmare Long. Because there's this one riff in All Nightmare Long. I don't know if you can hear that. I hope it doesn't
I
sound
would
bad.
not know.
No? Can you hear me? Sorry, I don't know if my audio is cutting out or not.
No, it's just because my screen recorder doesn't have tab audio. Like I can't hear
Oh,
you. Like I can't hear
I'm so
me at all
sorry.
because I'm just recording it.
Okay,
Like I rely on the
well,
captions. That's what's going on.
yeah. Now I feel dumb. I'm sorry. All right.
If
Uh,
it's there, it's there. If
it's
it's not, oh well.
it's the bridge riff to All Nightmare Long. Is very much the hardest thing that I've recorded. Even harder than the Dire solo, I'd say. I also had I had some trouble on Cthulhu, but it was very much not like the song. It was user error. And I'm honestly probably going to go back and re-record it because of what I dislike about my guitar tones and stuff.
Perfectionist.
Perfectionist or just trying to get by. Call it what you may.
Being stubborn.
That's a better one, yeah. Oh,
Hey, since you're going back and doing Squid again, we might as well just fucking get the fucking tree guy on it, right?
we might as well. We're just gonna redo it. Yeah, awesome. Let's do that. Because
Yeah,
me piecing
we're
together.
just deciding we're just gonna redo it again. It said I'm not doing shit because my shit's good.
Oh yeah, no, your shit's perfect. We don't need we don't need you to redo anything. We got you. We're just gonna force
Yeah.
Kayden to do another song, even though we just finished recording your guys' parts. By we, I mean you.
Personally, I feel like the hardest song, personally to me, was SNR, because I
Oh
don't often play that song, and I'm also kind of like doing the Enrique version as well. So it's kind of like a back and forth of okay, so since I'm doing what Rob plays here, and then I gotta do Andriski does here, and then I gotta like learn the bass solo Andriski has. And it's kind of like I'm also doing like the symphony as well, so it's like, oh god, I gotta like do this and I gotta do that. It's just like a whole
yeah,
clusterfuck of shit because I had to like completely relearn it. I hadn't played it in like I want to say like 3 months, 4 months, something like that.
I hadn't played SNR, but maybe once before, and that was the initial time that I learned and listened to the song. Um, as some may know, I do like full album playthroughs, and my next one was going to be Death Magnetic, and then I just never did it. That might come. I'm not sure. But there's a lot of stuff that I wish. Essentially, I wish. There's a lot of stuff that I have had a lot of fun with, and SNR is definitely one of them. And I wish I would have learned it sooner.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Nightmare was probably kind of like an issue for me because if you really like listen to you know the reason why it's a D&B stem is because I couldn't really get a clean isolation of my bass for some reason. I didn't want to I'm just gonna give it the way it is because like it's kind of like a wall of noise for some reason. I can't really figure out why it got tracked like that. I'm just like for easy convenience, it's
And then
just drum and bass
in
because
post
it
production, we
sounds
can
decent
usually
enough on there.
yeah. In post production, we can usually get most of all that out of there. Um, you know, I haven't noticed like any massive problem. There have been one or two songs where I've had to like separate the drum and bass just because of like drum mixing that needed to be done and bass mixing that didn't work with it. But I've usually just been able to work around the edges. We also don't like add the drum and bass in one stem very often. So
Excuse me.
yo, you're not real real.
Yeah, you're right. I'm a clinker. I'm AI slob. Sorry, chat.
Me too. Don't worry.
Yes, twin. We're deep fakes.
This is all AI. This is all 30
Exactly,
billion
bro.
gallons of water. We're
We
using this.
we are like the entire Nile. We're using up the entire Nile just for this interview.
We're using up 3 Niles. Washing up the Indian Ocean.
Straight up gulping up the Pacific. I feel
Well,
like the hardest song overall as S&LP was kind of like I want to feel like it's kind of like Fade because kind of like I had the issue
oh, I need to
of
redo Fade too.
I'm like playing to metronome and then it's like still too fast or like too slow and then it's also like this the cliff solo as well. It's kind of like weird
Yeah.
the way I had it because I just have my backing track too high. Then it's just like, what do we do? And then fucking Owen comes in. It's like, hey, don't worry, chat. Don't worry, chat. I've got it. I got it. Then this motherfucker comes in and does like 800 splices in post, and it sounds good somehow. And it's like we're just so grateful that we have somebody competent to do this shit for us.
The thing with that is that it's a very tedious process. You have to what I do is I isolate the drums and the bass, and then I just make sure that the time's right. And then I isolate, and that's just like the first run through. When I initially get your drum and your bass files in Kayden's bass or Kayden's drum files, I piece them together, and then I make sure that the timing is right. Then I go back in with when I record my guitars because the timing's right. I could care less about what the notes are right on the bass, and then I turn off the drums, turn on the rhythm guitar in my left ear, turn on the bass in my right ear, and then make sure that the notes are right. And then it works near perfectly every time. There have been a few instances where it doesn't quite line up, and I have to do this with symphonies too, which is harder, but it doesn't hurt me. It's harder on my phone than it is anywhere else, and it's fun. I have a lot of fun doing it. We're just like running low on time now because I don't want the album to be late. So it's more of like if I can cut corners on what I have to do, then I will. But I'm also not trying to make you guys overwork.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I feel like, I've kind of had parts, in my sense where it's like, maybe I'm like rushing a bit, maybe I'm dragging a bit, not quite my tempo, not quite my tempo. Throw a chair at me, dude. Somebody throw a chair at me. Like, it's kind of like, oh shit, that's gonna be a little bit of a hassle. I gotta retime this, or oh fuck, I already exported it, or oh shit, um, the fucking project's too big. Now I gotta fucking cut corners. When it's
Yeah, you
like a
gotta
really big
duplicate
synth,
it. Yeah.
and then it's just like, you know, oh well, whatever. I'll just G drive it and send it off to Owen, and Owen will fucking make it sound good.
I kind of just like bullshit my way through everything in life. That's kind of my motto is when in doubt, shit it out and just get it done with. But the thing with SNLP is like it's so much easier to get stuff done that's like put into like phrased in a way that makes sense to hopefully the listeners. And I've obviously like gotten feedback from a couple of my close friends, and they all think that everything sounds great, and they're all like really impressed with it. So I'm really excited to ship this out, and hopefully it gets some sort of traction going. But like splicing together is one of the hardest parts of S&LP, I've got to say.
Bro's thinking.
I was looking at my curtains.
You're the real curtain.
Okay. Well, what other
Um,
questions do you have for me?
well, I really don't have any more questions. So, you can ask me stuff if you want.
Oh yeah, of course. Do you think that you'd be willing to work on other projects with me and Kayden in the future?
Absolutely. I would love to work more with you, definitely. Keen is part of, my Panic cover band. So, when it comes time to, hop in the stew for that, you know, I hope that he's just gonna be there. Cause, we're always having our bi-weekly beef. So whatever happens with that, it happens. But end of the day, I'm just gonna be here for you anytime you really want. Where it's like, you want me to do, like you got a song you want me to do backing on, you send me a ref, I'll fucking give you like some powerful shit that goes behind you. Or you want me to like, do bass, like we did with U4, where it's like, you
100%.
gave me this whole original part and I learned it. I kind of like put my own little like spin on it. And then it all kind of like comes together as well. It's really good.
U4 is my favorite. It's definitely biased, but U4 is the one thing on the album that I'm like, this is more than just a Metallica song. This is like a Metallica fan song. This sounds like Metallica and also fits into their trilogy, or no, I guess saga. Excuse me.
Primtalica.
I I really hope that we get to work on projects even like outside of Metallica. Like I want to go on a tour. I know I've told you that, and that's much easier, way easier said than done. But like if I ever like needed someone to rely on to play bass for something or to play bass in a band, I'd probably hit you up. I would hit you up first. And you know, I think the thing that is cool between us is that I would also hope that if you ever need anything done on anything, I've got you. Like you
Absolutely,
want
because
to,
you
like you want,
are, you know, when the time comes, I'm gonna hit you up on that solo request that I offered like a
oh yeah.
month ago.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you don't gotta worry about it now. It's a future thing. It can wait. I studied the art of procrastination. I'm the biggest disciple of procrastination. My number one motto in life is if it can wait, it can wait. Why do today's work when it can be next month's work?
Why do work when you could not? You know. Hence why we have so much to do in a day until the album has to be reviewed. I'm
Why work at all? We'll just fucking
yeah.
give Owen everything. Just dump it all on Owen and Kayden and don't do shit.
I honestly feel like I have a fair amount of work, or like a fair amount of work compared to the amount of work that you guys have to do, because you guys have like so much like dense, like I don't know the word. It's like you have less parts, but you make it so perfect that I know that there's more work than just laying something down. You know,
I know. I really feel like
but that's
having less to do really gives you actually kind of like the opposite effect, where it's like now you have more time to really flesh this out before you can really get it there, because it's kind of like to me, I feel like it's kind of like, it's really simple what I can play, but, getting it right is the hard part.
Yeah. There have been several times on many songs for S&LP, specifically like SNL or whoa, what? Unforgiven, U4, Bread Fan especially. What was another one? Fade. I've probably spent thousands of takes trying to get either vocals, solos. Like I remember trying to lay that fade to black outro solo probably 200 times and just taking so many hours. And then it didn't even end up sounding how I wanted it to, but it got to the point where I needed to just get it out of the way. Maybe I'll go back and record it. Maybe I won't. It's acceptable.
Maybe we can get, you know, fucking grandpa on it or something. I don't fucking know. That's
We'll
last
figure it
J.
out. Yeah.
But maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
But
I really enjoyed this project.
yeah. I'm really glad that you enjoy it. I'm really looking forward to it. All this hard work, all this labor, everything's sort of like paying off. And it's kind of just like really cool that I get to work with you. I get to work with Oakwood. I get to work with Nine. I get to work with Grandpa. All of these cool people. I also get to reconnect with Wilbur. So it's Wilbur. We haven't mentioned Wilbur yet. I don't think.
I think we have once or twice. I don't know. I'm like really tired right now, so you're catching me catching Z's.
You the real sleepiness.
I'm just like really thankful, and I couldn't like put it any other way than I hope that it stays like this forever.
I'm really grateful, but going back to what you said about small parts, but it makes it harder, which is what I said really. Um, I feel like where I really had to like zero in on stuff is where it's where I have like the Jason tracks next to my track, and it's
Oh
just like
yeah,
you hear all the
yeah.
little differences and nuances that I'm trying to like get down, or some that I'm improving on. When I have stuff like Until and Bedfan and stuff like that. So, I do play the live as well. All that kind of stuff kind of like culminates into like how can I be the best bass I can be. How can I really just get a really good product out there that's gonna be like, holy shit, this guy knows her shit.
They can play bass in the band where they play bass. Whoa!
Holy shit, cinema.
No, I completely get that. I I don't feel rushed. I This is a self-set deadline, but like I definitely feel I need to spend more time on certain things.
Yeah, that's completely fair. It's completely fair. Overall, I'm really just glad that we're at the wrap up point now. I'm just really excited. I really hope that people enjoyed this whole thing, this whole you know group of folks we've sort of become, sort of like Live Aid thing, basically. At this point, the big four.
Me too. I'm extremely just looking forward to continuing.
As am I. And with that, we'll do our little witty wrap up here. I've been Lucy. This is Owen R. Campbell,
One and only.
not affiliated with Campbell's Soup or any other Campbell related product. You
I
heard
don't know. Maybe I
snippets
am.
of Mr. Kayden Oakwood, and you've heard about James Gustafson, Robert Gustafson, You the Real Soup, by the way. You've heard about Nine Reimer, Mr. Alex Reimer, and I think that's everybody. So with that, we like to thank you for tuning in to Not the Metallica Report, because we are not Metallica. Thank you very much, much love, and goodbye, niggers.